Namaste, everybody. I'm Don. Welcome to this class of yoga that also involves some strengthening exercises for the core, as well as, the triceps and so forth. But this came out of my own yoga practice. I had developed this personal routine, if you want to call it that I do almost daily. And it's the product of about 2 years worth of development, adding certain things, rearranging sequences, and so forth. But I just invite you into this practice. But my admonition / request is that you honor your body. It's always listen to your body. If it's saying don't do that on the right side, even though you could do it on the left, then don't do it or don't stretch as deeply. Whatever you get familiar with your own body. But this is a more challenging class, and I have other videos that I have up that are for more beginner oriented folks. But even if you're a beginner and you're seeing this video, you just modify. Instead of doing 20 of something and you can do 3, then do 3 or whatever. And so I think you'll understand that. So we're just going to start in a comfortable seated position, hands on the knees. And if you want to sit in a classic yoga position with the mudras and such, feel free to do that according to your own practice. And now we're just going to start bringing our chin to our chest slowly. And then going straight back. And we're opening up the throat. We're feeling stretch through the throat. And when we come forward, we feel it in the back of our neck. And we're taking full deep breaths as we do this. And the next time your chin comes down, you're going to take your left ear. You're going to roll toward your left shoulder. Not stretching too much. This gets the side of the neck. And when you get back, we rotate slowly the other way, bringing your chin to your chest, and now your right ear over your right shoulder. And come back. And we're taking full deep breaths. And if you can, you want to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. But if you need to inhale through the mouth or exhale through the mouth at any time during the practice, of course, do that. And now we're going to do side stretch. Take your left hand next to your side body, bring your right arm up, and come over. And in this position, when I do these side stretches when I'm warming, I like to open my fingers out like they're duck webs or duck feet or whatever ducks have, so that I feel the stretch in there. But I also like to rotate my wrists, because when we're in down dog and doing push-ups and such, it's good to have the wrists also loosened. And now we're going to rotate forward slowly, and you'll feel more of a stretch in the upper side body here. And now we rotate, looking up, breathing deeply, and we rotate forward again here. Rotate back and up. And now we go to the other side. Starting, I like to rotate my wrist on this side. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. And rotate forward. Your sit bones stay on the mat here. You don't lift your sit bones off the mat. Coming up. Full breaths. The breathing helps warm up the body as well when you're stretching it. And coming over one more time on this side. And rotate forward, feeling the stretch in the upper body. Rotating, looking up. And one more time on this side. Rotate. Look up one more time. And now we're going to do a spinal twist, but we're not going to be too aggressive to begin with. So you place your right hand on the outside of your left knee, and you look back kind of toward your left shoulder, but not totally over it. And now I want you to stay taut in this position, but just bring your gaze over your right shoulder. And now go back left. Come back right. And now we go to the other side. Look left. And look right. Notice we're warming our neck up throughout the early part. Now we're going to go back, do a spinal twist on the other side. And you could go a little bit deeper into this now. As you feel your body warming up, you can go deeper. Come back right. And you'll notice throughout the practice that we move our head left to right fairly often. And come back over the right shoulder. And let's go to the other side. And in this seated spinal twist, you want to be straight up as though there's a string going through your spine, straight up. Look left. The only thing moving here is your head. And release. Now we're going to do seated cat-cow. So what we're doing, we're keeping our hands on our knees and we're arching our back. We're not leaning forward in this though. We're just arching the back. So if there was a glass cage directly over your mat, you wouldn't hit your head and you wouldn't hit your back. And now arch forward. This is the cow, the seated cow posture. And you should feel this stretch all the way up through your throat. This is the front body stretch. We already did some side body stretching and warming. This is the front and back body. And you can bring your elbows up here. And now release back. This is a good stretch for dentists and hairdressers, by the way. This one here, because it uniquely focuses on parts of the upper back that dentists and hairdressers work throughout the day with their instrument like up like this. That exercise stretches the upper by the clavicle. Deep inhalation, and now we're going to just slowly walk our hands forward. And without bringing your head forward, we're just going to try to lower our elbows to the floor. Our sit bones are still on the mat. Deep inhalation, and if you can lower your forehead now to the floor, lower it to the floor, moving slowly. Breathing deep. Now bring your hands together, and you're making a little, it's like a heart really, an upside down heart, and you're placing your forehead in that heart. And now take your forehead if you can, and you're moving it across your left arm. And now move it back slowly over your right arm. and come up. Take both hands close to your spine, and we're arching up into a good stretch here. And release. Good. Now we're coming onto our back. And we're going to bring our knees in to our chest. And I like to grab my ankles here. And I always feel that, popping and all kinds of stretching goes on right throughout the groin and all the way out to the knees when I do this. But bring the knees in and just sort of give a massage. But it's an active pose. It's an active stretch. Okay. Now we're taking our legs straight up, right? And if you could take your hands over your head, great. If not, you could leave them here or here. And you're trying to bring your feet together, right? So your heels and the bones right below your big toe come together. And what we're going to do now is just rotate clockwise our feet 3 times each way. Breathing. Good. And now we're going to bicycle. So we stretch our feet down and then we flex our feet. And we stretch, stretch, flex, flex, stretch, stretch. And I go gradually wider with my legs, which works different parts of your abs. And then you bring them back in. And then we're going to go out one more time with them. Breathe. This is warming up our abs and our legs. And bring them back in closer to parallel. And bring your legs in. Bring your soles of your feet together if you can. Breathe. Now, we're going to take our left leg straight up, stretched foot, and we're going to rotate it 3 times clockwise and then 3 times counterclockwise. And now we're going to lower this leg to the floor. There's tension in it. Just as you're about to hit the floor, flex your foot and lower it down to the floor. And now 4 times we're going to take our left knee over our right hip. And you're looking to the right. Remember when I said we're going to be moving our head a fair amount left and right in various postures? And now we're going to open up the hip by bringing our right knee over, and we're going to look left. And now we bring it up across, pulling in on that knee. You'll feel that stretch on the outside of your right glute. Bring it across. And 2 more times. Breathe. And last time. And bring it across. Beautiful. Now take the right leg up, stretching the right foot, and we're going to go counterclockwise to start 3 times, rotating the ankle. And now we go clockwise 3 times. And now we lower this down to the mat. Just as it's about to hit the mat or floor, flex your foot and lower it. And bring that left knee across your right hip. Your left sit bone will pull off the mat in this, but your right one, of course, will not. Looking left. Open out. I always get a good pop in this position, which is partly why I do this, to get that release in the Muladhara chakra. If you've studied chakras, you'll recognize that name. Okay. That's the root chakra. Connects you to your, in yogic theory, it connects us to our animal instincts or animal nature, if you will. Like we've all got some of that. Great. Bring the soles of your feet together again. Bring it in. And now we're taking that left leg back up and we're bringing our right knee right next to our left knee. We're taking our right foot in our right hand and we're lowering the whole thing down. And this is, I call this a runner stretch, but this is maybe kind of advanced unless you're very flexible. And I like to take my hands over my head here so I get the full body stretch. Now, ever so gently take a full breath here. And you'll feel this, believe it or not, in your thigh because the whole front body is being stretched out here. And one more full breath. And bring it in. Give a good release here. Now take the right leg up. And the left knee comes directly next to your right knee. And we lower down, trying to get that left knee as close to the floor as you can. It might only come up to here. That's fine. Just do what you can do without injuring yourself. Deep inhalation. And release, bringing it in. And now we're going to take both legs up, stretched feet together, and we're going to do 18 double leg lifts. Okay, so we do flexed foot down, stretched foot up, flex, stretch. Okay, 4, 5, 8, 10. Remember to breathe. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And now we're going to do 18. We open our legs mat or hip width apart, flex, come down, bring them together, and stretch up. We do this 18 times. 2, 3, open, flex down, stretch up. 6, 7, remember to keep breathing fully. The tendency doing these is to stop breathing, and at some point you wind up gasping for air. 10, 11, 14, 15, 17, and 18. Now we're going to do 18 more, and this is the end of this part of the ab work. We keep our feet and legs together, and we do stretch or flex foot down, open mat width, and come up with a stretched foot. So it's flex down, open, stretch up. And we do this 18. That's 3, 4, 5, 8, 14, 4 more, and up. Beautiful. And now we go out and we just get a good groin, hip socket, everything stretch in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bring them in. And look right, look left, and stretch out. And now we're just coming over into Halasana, plow pose. You could be in half plow to start. Breathing deep. I like to have my arms over my head here when I do this. Some people like to have them here. That's fine. And stretch, flex your feet, and lower. If you can, touch the tops of your toes to the floor, or take them into your hands and open a little together. And here now, we're going to roll up onto the balls of our feet in one motion. So here we go. Flex your feet, and we come to the balls of our feet and place our hands on the mat. And we're going to come into a slow forward fold. And we're now coming up. Reverse swan dive, arch back a little bit. The back is tight from what we just did. And now, reverse swan dive, arch your back. And we're coming forward into a forward fold, fingertips on the mat. If you're really flexible, you might want to go flat with your hands, but I keep mine here at this point. And what we're going to do is our feet are probably 2 inches apart or so. And we're coming down with our fingers are staying in contact with the mat. And we're opening out. And the way to get back in now, just move your elbows out. And we're coming up into a forward bend slowly. And we're going to do this 6 times. So here's 1, coming up. Deep breath. And we're not lowering our head yet. We're keeping our head up. Come down, open, close, and up. And your hands are about a foot from your feet. And lower, open. You might feel some popping in your groin and the socket and joints in there. And up. Now lower your head, but keep your fingers right where they were. And down, close up, lower your head, come down, open, close, up. Now lower your head and bring your thumbs to your pinky toes. And this gets a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Deep breath. When you take an inhalation, you release the stretch a little bit. And then on the exhalation, you can go a little deeper. Bring your fingers back out about a foot away from your feet. Down, open, close, up. Fingers to your your thumbs to your pinky toes. And now we're going to take our left thumb to our right pinky toe and our right thumb to our heel. So we have like a bit of a side stretch going on here. And now we rotate our hands over to the other side. So our right thumb is next to our left pinky, and our left thumb is next to our left heel. Breathe, back center, bend your knees, bring your palms together, your chest is on your thighs, and slowly come up into a reverse swan dive and into prayer pose. Good. Take a deep breath. Swan dive, reverse into a forward. Swan dive down. Bend your head down for a good stretch. Chest to thighs, palms together. Come back up. Good. And now I'm going to face the camera to do this. We're going to come up. Bring your palms together, and we're going to do a side stretch. So we're keeping our feet, they can be about 6 inches apart, and we're doing a side stretch. Looking up if you can. If you have to look forward, that's fine too. And now we're going to rotate so that we're facing upward. And release. Coming through the side stretch. We're still stretching. You'll feel this in the upper part of the body. And we're facing downward, just like we did earlier in the practice, but we were seated. Coming back up. Lower your shoulders. And now we go to the other side. So you'll feel this all throughout the top here, down through here. Looking up, rotate upward now. And rotate downward. Coming up and into prayer pose. I'm going to come back now to the top of my mat. Breathe. And now arch back. We're coming forward. We're placing our fingertips about a foot in front of our feet again. And now what we're doing, we're going to go 12 times. We're going to lift our heels and then lift our toes. And you might even be able to lift the entire front part of your foot. That's sort of the goal. So, heels up, front part of the foot up. So we have 10 more times to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, 1, and we're done. Chest to thighs, palms together. Coming back into a reverse swan dive. Do that slowly so you don't get dizzy. Woo! There we go. Arch back. Coming forward, fold. Look up. And now we're coming into downward facing dog. And we're going to walk the dog. It's also known as an alternate calf stretch. But we're moving our feet very slowly here. The tendency of most yogis, especially new ones, is to go really fast. No, the key here is to go slowly and gradually stretch through the calf and the Achilles while breathing deeply. And breathe. Good. Now bring both heels down if you can, or just get them close. Now we're going to take the top of our right foot and place it on the mat. So our right toes are now parallel or next to our left heel, a few inches apart, but it's the top of your feet that are on the mat. And what we're doing is we're going to stretch the foot, the right foot out. We're rotating the heel out so you get a top of the foot stretch. Now bring it across so the arch of your foot goes over the top of your left foot. So now you rotate back out. We do this total of 4 times. That's 2. Rotate out. This is a wonderful stretch, one of my favorite stretches. And now we're going to stretch back into that right foot. You can even take the left foot off the mat if you want. And you're just getting a deeper stretch now through that right back foot. And come forward, knees 2 inches off the mat, into downward facing dog. If you need to take a break, take a break. You could just come down like this and just sort of go in a child's pose or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to continue. Now we do the left foot. So the top of the left foot touches the mat. Rotate it out to the left and bring it back over
So the arch of your left foot touches the top of your right foot. Breathe. Do this 4 times. This is number 3. Rotate out and back over. And now we stretch back. My feet almost always cramp up somewhere when I do that exercise, which is partly why I do it, to work the cramps out, the creaks out, all that. And now come forward, knees about 2 inches off the mat. Back into downward facing dog. And now take your right leg up and release. The left leg up and release. Now step forward into a forward fold. Bring your hands behind your calves, chest to thighs, palms together into reverse swan dive, into prayer pose. Reverse swan dive, fold forward, lift your head up. Now step your right leg back, left leg back. You're in plank. And we're going to do 15 push-ups here. We'll do 10, then go into down dog for a second, then come back and do 5. So here we go. 5, 10. Into down dog. Adjust your feet if you need to. Alternate calf stretch. Now come forward in a plank and do 5 more push-ups. 5, into down dog. And right leg up. Bring down. Left leg up. Down. Step your feet forward. Open. Now your heels are together. Open your toes out. Come down. Sit. And now we're ready for our next set of, these are bent leg sit-ups. If you need to stretch your feet out, that's fine. One of the keys to this here, and it keeps tension out of your hands, because you don't want tension in your hands. The tension is going to be in your midsection. Just bring the fingertips together, just like that. And the whole time you're going to leave your hands like this. And that prevents you from throwing your hands up and shifting weight and these herky-jerky motions that you can introduce into your practice without knowing it. So here we go. We're going to do 18 this way. And then we're going to do a total of 36 left side, right side. So it's 18 this way, 18 that way, 18 that way. Just like we did in the beginning. Here we go. And you'll notice your heart rate start to elevate in this part of the practice. 5. 10. 15. 3 more this way. There. And now we're going to go alternating side. But the way we're going to do it is, instead of our fingertips being together, when we go to the right side, your left fingers will be in your right palm, and then you switch it when you go to the other side, so your right fingers are in your left palm. So we're going to do a total of 36, 18 each side. And our knees are still bent, if you can do that. So this way, and we're not throwing ourselves, okay? The tendency is to like that. You're not. You're focusing the tension in your midsection, so you're coming up. Breathing. There's 10. It gets easier over time. 16. 22. 30. 34. 35. And 36. Well done. One of the good things about your core, the midsection, is as easy as it is to get out of shape, it recovers very quickly. If you were to do a few sit-ups every day or leg lifts each day, you would notice it gets easier very quickly, okay? So now we're bringing the soles of our feet together and we're cusping our hands over our toes. Breathe, and you might be doing this, that's okay. Some of you are extraordinarily flexible. Do whatever you can. If your knees comfortably go to the floor, fine. And deep breath here. And what we're doing now is we're bringing our forehead, if you can, into the little bowl of the arches of your feet, okay? So inhale, we're going slowly down though, because we've created tension back here. Now we want to stretch some of it out. So slowly bringing your elbows to the outside of your legs, and then you can gauge how stretchy you are today, okay? Deep breath, and on the exhalation, lower your forehead into your feet if you can. Deep inhalation. When I inhale, I always pull out of the stretch a little bit so I don't injure myself. And now, just like we did earlier in the class, we're going to take our forehead and keeping our sit bones on the mat, we're going to keep our forehead and roll it down our arm to the crook. I think that's what's called, the crook or crook of the elbow. Deep breath. You might feel this in the upper right side of your back. And now forehead over to the other side. And back center. And come back up. Coming back into a comfortable seated position like we did in the beginning of the class. And we're going to do a spinal twist here, just like we did in the beginning of the class. So we take our right hand on the outside of our left knee. We kickstand our left hand by our spine, and we're upright. And now we're going a little deeper into this, looking back over our left shoulder. This is partly why a big reason why we warm the neck up so much. Look back over the right shoulder. And now go to the other side. Looking over your left. Good. And now we're placing our hands in front of us. We're either going to walk or shoot our legs back into plank, and we're going to do 20 push-ups from that position. So we bring them forward. You can sort of rotate over and then shoot them back. And now we're going to do 20 push-ups. Just do your best. 5, 10, 15, and 20. Into downward facing dog. Adjust your feet, walk the dog a little bit. Your heart rate's up. And now we come walk our feet forward, chest to thighs, palms together. Inhale up into prayer pose. Deep inhalation. Arch back. Swan dive forward. Back in a plank. And we're going to do 15 push-ups. But on the 5th one, we're going to take our left leg off. And on the 10th one, our right leg off, about 3 inches off the mat. So here comes 5 regular. 1, 3, 4, 5. Now take the left leg off the mat a couple inches. 1, 2, 3, 5. And now the right leg off. 5. Into down dog. Right leg up. Coming through into pigeon. This is a nice release. And now we're pushing back into that sit bone. It may not touch the mat, but you want to get it close. And notice here, when you tilt your head back, you feel your heart rate a lot more than when you bring your chin to your chest. Tilt your head back. And now come forward. The right side of your chest is over your right thigh and knee. Hands come forward. And you're going to rock ever so gently into your right glute from this position. And then slowly rock back, generally so that your left hip bone touches your left foot of your left heel. Unless you're super flexible. And now bring your hands here. We're pushing back, looking up. Lower your chin to your chest. Bring it center. Look over your left shoulder. And slowly bring it around to your right shoulder. Now bring your palms together. And looking back, looking up. And now bring your palms together over your head. You'll feel this in your lower back. And release down into downward facing dog. And walk the dog a little bit. And now we're going to take our left leg up and bring it down. And now we're going to take the tops of our feet. We're going to come forward in a plank. Take the tops of our feet on the mat if you can. And we're going to do 15 push-ups from here, but lifting alternate legs at 5 and 10 intervals. So here we go. 1, 2, 5. Left leg up a couple of inches. Now right leg up. 1, 2, 5. Into down dog. Left leg up. Coming forward into pigeon. Deep breath. Look left. Look right. And now coming forward. Left side of your chest is over your left knee and thigh. Rotating ever so slightly. If you can get your forehead on the mat, great. Rotating slightly and slowly into your left buttock. Breathing, your heart rate should be up if you did all of that. Mine certainly is and always is at that point. And bring yourself up. Just enjoy this for a breath. Look left again. Center, right, center, and now palms to heart center. Looking up with arms out. Bring palms together and release down into downward facing dog. And now we're going to come forward and do 15 more push-ups. Here we go. And these are regular push-ups. 5, 10, 15, and down dog. Deep breath. Step your feet forward. Chest to thighs. Palms together. Coming up into a reverse swan dive. Into prayer pose. Take 2 deep breaths here. You might want to take a cleansing breath, which is in through the mouth, out through the mouth. One more. Reverse swan dive. Fold forward. Look up. Now just rotate your feet out without moving your heels. Coming down. Now you're on your butt. You're coming onto your side, onto your right side. You could cradle your head here. You could leave it down here. You'll figure it out as you go into it. We're doing 18 single leg lifts. So what we're doing is our heels are together to start, and we take our left leg up and we flex it down. So it's a stretch up, flex down, 18 times. So here and you're not moving your upper body. That's key. It's just the lower body. Notice how nothing here moved, okay? Once the upper body starts moving, you've gone too far. Okay, 3, 4, this is about body control and strength. 6, 'It was a good time to catch your breath too. 14, 17, 18. Now, we're coming forward with a flexed foot about hip height off the mat, coming forward without moving your upper torso. This is all lower body work, okay? So we come forward with a pulse, with a flexed foot, and then we go back with a stretched foot. Still hip height, but we're not moving in the top part of our body. Total of 6 times. That was a demonstration, so let's go with 6 now. So it's forward, pulse, back, pulse, forward, pulse, back. That's 2. Flex forward, stretch back. That's 4. Last one, flex, pulse, stretch, pulse. Now we're coming into 12 grapefruits one direction, 12 grapefruits, we call them the other way. They're tiny leg circles. So there's tension from your thigh through your feet, and it's basically like your toes are running around a grapefruit. So it's 12 of these, 4, 5, 6. Other way, go for 12. Good, down. Now, we're gonna do 24 double side leg lifts. And your heels are together through this. So what you're doing is you're stretching your feet up and then you're flexing them down. So your feet are gonna start to feel like a butterfly, like they're flying down. You'll see what I mean, I think. But I'll demonstrate. Here's one up and then down, okay? So we're doing 24 of these. Again, your upper body's not moving. This is your core right out through your legs. So here we go. 1, 2. And if there was an egg underneath the left side of your left hip, you wouldn't break it. 6, 7, 8. Breathe. 11, 12. You can even take your free hand and examine like where the tension is in your abdomen. Sometimes it's on the left side when you think it's going to be on the right. Sometimes it's toward the top when you think it's toward the bottom. 19, 20, 21, 2, 23, and we're done on that side. And those of you who have been taking yoga for a while will know that whatever you do on one side in yoga, you do on the other. That's one of the fundamental principles of balance, maintaining balance, equally distributing the challenge and benefit. So now your right leg is on top and we're doing 18 single leg lifts. Stretched foot up, flex down. 2, 8. And remember, you're not moving your upper body. 13, 14, 17, 18. Now we come forward and we're doing our 6 flex pulse, back stretch pulse. Back pulse, and we're about hip height off the mat. You kicked the pillar there. I think this is 4. Let's track. 6 pulse, 6 pulse. Grapefruits now. Tension through the leg and feet. 9, 10, other way, go. 11, 12, and down. And now we're doing 24 double side leg lifts. This side. Remember, we're stretching up, flexing down, so your feet, heels together, your feet will begin to feel like a butterfly. Here we go. 1, 7, 12, that's halfway there. 16, smile. 20, 21, 2, 23, 24. Yay! We're almost done. Roll onto your belly and bring your elbows just about under your shoulders. This is a relaxing catch your breath moment before we do our final set of push-ups. Deep breath. Now just lower your forehead to the mat. And the tops of your feet are on the mat. Good. Now we push up. It's like baby cobra. And make sure your feet are on the mat. So we're going to bring our hands under our shoulders and we're going to push up in a plank, but with the tops of our feet on the mat. We're going to do 10 push-ups that way, then switch our feet and do 10 normal way, so to speak. Deep breath. So we're going to push up into upward facing dog slowly into plank and do 10 push-ups this way. 5, 10, rotate the feet so your toes our normal way and 10 this way. Ten, and one more. I always like to do one more. There. Into downward facing dog. Deep breath. Right leg up. Release. Left leg up. Release. Step your feet forward. And now, come to a comfortable seated position. Catch your breath. Close your eyes. Bringing our heart rate down a little bit. And now bring the palms together to heart center. And we're just going to bow forward. Bringing our hands forward, just like we started in the beginning of the class. And it'll be easier to get your forehead to the floor this time than it was in the beginning. Coming up, arms up, palms to heart center. Bow. Namaste, everybody. That's a challenging workout, and I have easier classes that I'll be posting as well, but this is my workout that I do regularly, and it gets easier if that was hard. If that was too easy for you, because some of you I know are in phenomenal shape, so to speak, just make it harder. Instead of doing 24, do 36 or 48 side double leg lifts. Instead of doing what we just did was over 200 bits of ab work between leg lifts, singles, doubles, the sit-ups, the bent leg sit-ups, or however you did them. And we also did 101 push-ups in that, along with all the stretching, including the tops of the feet, and including in the beginning when we were stretching out our wrists like this, we were getting the tops of our wrists the same way we were getting the tops of our feet. It's a complete body workout. So I honor you, thank you, and I'll see you again. Namaste.